right? I don't know. Can you see?
I'm on your page. Welcome.
Is it live?
Yeah.
Can you see it this way?
Yes.
Okay. So I have like no clue how this is gonna work. So we're just gonna try it for a minute and then I'll get off because I don't want to like steal any you know. All right, cool. So you can see it. Thank you. All right, bye. All right. Hey guys, I'm Bullish Babe. I'm Chelsea. I'm just trying this for the first time, so this is going to be a little bit awkward because um, this is the first time I've ever tried Restream before. Again, Bullish Babe. My name is Chelsea. I do charts and crypto. I've been in crypto for about 6 years now. And I usually do this on TikTok. My biggest following is on TikTok. However, I am trying to switch over to YouTube a little bit, and I'm also on Instagram as well. So if you're in here, thanks for being here. We're just going to go over a couple of charts today. I'm actually going to just a test stream. I usually go live first thing in the morning at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're here watching, give me a call at 3. Otherwise, I will be up at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single day. So I'm going to start with BTC. We're going to take a look at what's happening here. I think chat up. Guys, you've got to give me a little bit of leeway here. It's my first time using BTC. So I'm not sure how this is going to come out, but here we go. So we're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to start on the daily. I usually start on a high time frame to see kind of what's happening, and we'll go to the 4 hour, the 8 hour, and we'll kind of go from there. Again, on Bitcoin on the daily right now, actually, I don't even know if you guys can see it. On TikTok, you cannot see it. So here we are, guys. We are on Bitcoin on the daily right now. I did the stream this morning. We have said, listen, we were inside of this pattern to actually broke out. We're in the inverted head and shoulders on a lower time frame. We'll take that for the daily. But there is one here that we did break out of. The target for that was actually 122. The problem was we were also inside of a symmetrical triangle here that it needed to break out of. And once we broke out of there, what we needed to do is we needed to come back and kind of retest this pattern. And so right now we're at 115,568, which is amazing that we've been able to keep that 114. I said 114, it was really 114. Once we got up and over that decisively, then and we hold that, that's a really good thing to actually keep that support level. So we've done that over the weekend until now, and now we're sitting here, right? At 115,568. Daily is looking a little bit exhausted here. This is fantastic. And then we have the RSI down here, 12.24. I also have the moving averages on my chart. A bunch of these days, this is easier for I don't use a lot of computers by themselves. I know it's Fibonacci square. I always want to use them. I'm still learning that. I also am learning bypass as well. And so I'm always open to learning. I've been trading for 3.5 years, 1 year, for an entire year, and I've been in crypto for 6 years. Watched a lot of YouTubers along the way, and figured out how to trade and how to develop my own strategies. That's what I would like to do. So anyway, so we broke out of this structure right now, and now we are well above both of the patterns. And we're going to go down to the 4 hour and get what's happening there. We do have a little bit of exhaustion on the daily. Whenever I see the cloud around the stokes kind of round out, this is when I have to keep that and realize that maybe there is some exhaustion happening there. You just pop up to kind of roll over and pop down again. So we're going to have to go to the lower time frame to check that out. My go-to time frame right now is the 8 hour. And the reason why it's in the 8 hour, the 4 hour will give you some confluence with the daily. However, the 8 hour breaks that up. And when you break that up and show a little bit of a higher time frame with the confluence of the 4 hour and the daily, it gives you a little bit more insight into what's happening. So right now in the 8 hour, we do have a bullseye line here, right here. So we've got this bull flag right here. We do have the moving averages kind of bunching together. Whenever we see the moving averages bundling, this shows you that it's either going to be very strong support or very strong resistance. And right now we are over price action is over the moving averages, and we are starting to bundle here. Right now we've got the 50, which is the orange line. We've got the simple moving average, which is the blue line, and the smooth moving average, which is the purple. And we've got the 200 down here. So the 200 is trying to come up to actually touch price action, which is usually when these small flags break out. And so this is what I'm watching. The little flag right here is if we break out. You guys are chatting. I think this is chat at all. So I'm sorry if I'm missing anything. I'm still trying to figure out how this works. I'll see how it works here. But if you are in the chat and you can see me from one of these channels, for awesome. Okay. So we've got this full flag on the 8 hour, right? Here's the flag, here's the pole, here's the flag. We break out of this and we are headed to 119,594. We've also broken out of this period head and shoulders. So head, shoulder, head, shoulder. We've broken out of this, and this target is actually at around 122. So eventually, I would like us to get up here, but we have to get up and over. Obviously, this full flag will bring us out and get us fairly on our way up for Bitcoin. But we need to hold this level, right? So we get up and over this level. Again, here's the first target 119.94, second target 122. We are rounding out on 8 hours. So that even though the D is exhausted, the 8 hour is actually rounding out here. And the RSI is pretty to the upside. We're in the middle, and we do have some space between the RSI, which usually tells you that it's a little bit longer to go out. And so that's what I'm going to be watching right now. We go down to the 4 hour right now. Look, again, I'm not sure if you guys can see me at all. Interesting. Sound is messed up on TikTok. I can't hear it. Okay. So sorry guys, we're working out the tweaks here, right? Um, is it still messed up? Can you guys, if you put something in the chat, if you put something in the chat on any of these platforms, if someone can do that, just so that I can see if it actually works, because I'm not sure if still can't see in the chat. Um, so you look it up, guys. um, um, okay. Is it better at this? I need my mic maybe. Maybe that's what's happening. Guys, this is really just a test. Hopefully I'll be up and running on here at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every day. But I'm just going back and forth to see if the technicals are working out. No, it sounds like you're underwater. Interesting. Let me try. Does this sound better? This sounds stupid, but you can't really try this out without actually trying it out, right? Okay. I don't know if you can hear me at all now. Interesting. All right. And you can't put anything in the chat. I don't know. You can hear me better now. Okay. I wonder why. All right. How about now? Can you hear me better now? Is this way better? Is that better? Or do I sound like I'm underwater again? Okay. Do I sound like I'm underwater or is that better? Sorry, guys. We will get this worked out for sure. Better. Okay, so it's good now. Okay. Can you put, if you guys are on a platform, can you put something in the chat if you can hear or see me? For some reason, I can't see any of the chat at all. Chat. Let's see. All right, guys. Let's see. I did on TikTok. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, no, I can't see. Bullish Big Crypto. Edit channels. Let's see. Add channels. Yeah, so I don't think you can on TikTok. I can't see any of the chat. All right. Guys, I'm Chelsea. I'm the Bullish Babe. I'm just trying this out for the first time to see if we can figure out the streaming on Restream. I usually do this on TikTok, but because we wanted to expand to different platforms, I'm trying this on YouTube and TikTok and Instagram at the same time. However, it doesn't seem like it's working that well. So let me see. All right. So I'm just going to talk for a few minutes. I'll go over Bitcoin and then I'll probably shut this down. I'm going to try to figure out how to do this on multiple platforms and have it actually work because it doesn't seem like anyone from TikTok can actually put anything in the chat. So so we're looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour. I can't see it. It's weird. Okay, so we're looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour, guys. Obviously, here's a bull flag right here. This could break up to the upside. And now we've got the Stokes that are low. RSIs are pointing up. And we have broken out of this inverse head and shoulders, right? So now we've broken out. Here's where we broke out this weekend. We had this bull flag, broke us out of this pattern right here, shoulder, head, shoulder, broke out of this bull flag, formed another bull flag, which is what we're in right now. And if this breaks us up and out, this could break us up to 119,669. 4-hour is at the bottom of the channel on the Stokes. And looking at the 1-hour right now, this is supporting that move, guys. So now we've got this 4-hour bull flag. I know this looks wonky on the 1-hour. What I always say to the people in my group is find the pattern on the time frame that looks the clearest and measure it from there. And that's really the time frame that it's usually going to break out on. So again, right here, these Stokes are aggressively pointed up. The RSI 6 is looking to push through the 12 and the 24. That's when we usually get a big move. And so this looks like this is supporting this move to the upside. Again, we have some resistance to get through here at the 118.4 level, but once we get through there, we could be going to 119.6 and then possibly to the 122, which is the target of the inverted head and shoulders on the hourly. And so this is looking good. Now, what I do want to check is here. I do want to take a second to check the lower time frames. We just looked on the 1 hour. We're going to take a second. Please, guys, excuse me. This is my first stream on any other platform. And we're trying to make Restream work. So if it seems a little bit wonky, that's kind of why. So I wanted to go down to the lower timeframes, and this is why. You guys will figure out that when the way that I do things is I work from the higher time frames to the lower time frames. Once in a while, I'll start with the mid 1 hour, 4 hour, but usually I'm looking at the bigger pattern on a higher time frame to work within on the lower time frames. And so what I'm looking for now is confluence that we are the 1 hour is supporting that move up to pop that 4 hour bull flag out. And get us to that 119 level. However, if the smaller time frames are looking like they're going to roll over, here is where I start to look for another scenario. And not just that straight pop to the upside. Now that 4 hour does look really strong, and we are turning on the Stokes and on the RSI, and the RSI 6 is pushing through the 12 and the 24 on the 1 hour. And that gives me a lot of hope that this move could actually happen. However, when you get to the 45 minute, we'll do 45 minute, 30, and then I'll go to the 15. 45 minute looks like it's losing steam. When we see this start to happen, what we know is that the 45 minute may be an outlier and it may look like it's losing steam, but the 30 minute, if that's still low and has some room to push, then and the 15 minute, then we know that those two time frames on either side of this 45 minute, even though the 45 minute looks like it's going to roll over, those two time frames can actually hold that price action up and kind of cancel out the 45 minute, which would be the outlier. But we need to see what the 30 minute and the 15 minute are doing right now. So obviously we're moving our way up 115.6. That's a really good sign. Let's take a look at the 30 minute and see what's happening here. 30 minute still has a little bit of room. It's not completely exhausted, although it is kind of getting to the top of the Stokes. And this is what I said this morning. There was a little bit of a W pattern, and you can see my charting from this morning. There's a little bit of a W pattern. We said, you know what, this could definitely break out to the upside. This would have been the target of just this tiny W pattern. It is breaking out of that right now, and this breaks us right up directly to here. Now, two things. One is great. We're breaking out of that W pattern, probably going to go to the target. Number two, it's breaking us up to a wick that looks like it may double top, right? And when we see this kind of, okay, we're at the top, we're a little overheated, we may be getting exhausted. We do have some room on the RSI, but the RSI is now kind of keeling over to the downside. We have to go down to the 15 minute and the 7 to see what they're doing, because this could definitely be a possibility where we come up, we touch this level again, we double top and we roll over and come back down. So let's take a look at the 15 minute right here. 15 minute looks like it does want to go, but look at how exhausted we are on the Stokes. You're good on TT and you too. Thank you so much, Carol. I really appreciate you. Finally, the chat's coming through. Guys, thank you so much for watching me. I'm Chelsea. I'm the Bullish Babe. This is my first time on any other platform other than TikTok. I've been on TikTok for about 6 months. And I've been in crypto for 6 years, maybe a little bit more. I've been trading and charting for about 3.5. And I basically traded paper for a year. So I'm just here to show you guys a little bit about what I know about the charts. I learned from amazing, amazing influencers on YouTube. I'll always shout them out. Tom Crown, Crypto Lifer, Cryptos R Us, Ragsy, Jason Casper, Wendy O. So I learned from really great people. I literally woke up and went to bed watching these people every single day for years. And so I'd love to share with you what I know about the charts and how I view them. I'm not looking for you guys to copy my strategy. I'm looking for you guys to have your own strategy. Okay. Maybe take a couple of things from me, maybe take a couple of things from other influencers and figure out your own strategy to looking at how the charts move. And from there, could you trade? For sure. Am I pushing you to trade? No. It's more just about seeing where the charts are headed, so that you guys can make good decisions, whether you're just buying and holding or whether you're trading, right? So this will get a little bit more organized as we go on. Thank you so much for being here for my first multi social media platform stream. Maybe we'll look back at this and laugh someday, right? So right now, here's what we're doing on the 15 minute. We do have a bull flag on the 15 minute. It's right here, right? Here's the pull, here's the flag. You measure the bull flag, you take the pull, you drag it to the supposed breakout, which is here, or around here. This is not going to be exact. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, and I'm not a professional trader, right? I do this in my own time. It's a hobby. But I've been doing it for some time now. And so look at where this brings you, right? Obviously the W pattern going to have the same exact breakout. It does bring you up to this level at 116, 152. We've got this target of the W pattern, which is pretty close to here, which is why I'm saying if we are getting exhausted on the 15-minute, there's a very good chance that this was a superficial pump to then double top here. Okay. So what we're going to be looking for is signs, right? We're going to be looking and look at the Stokes are now turning down. RSI 6 wants to push through the 12 and the 24 to the downside on the 15-minute for Bitcoin. And now we are kind of feeling this level, right? Now here's the thing. I use the SMA and the smooth moving average, which is the blue and the purple lines. Blue is the simple moving average. Purple is the smooth moving average. I use these as a guide. We are also having the 200 starting to converge with both of those moving averages. If they do, usually when they bundle, they act as very strong support or very strong resistance. In this case, what may happen is the bull flag on a little bit of a higher time frame, like a 30-minute, may come down and touch these moving averages and then may continue on. If we fall through these moving averages on the 7, the 15, the 30, especially on the hourly, here's where I'm looking for a bigger move down. Okay. So if we do pop up, I'm going to expect us to pop up to here, but I'm not taking any other moves until I see that we don't double top there, because now I can see. And what we do in trading or what we do in charting is we want to anticipate the moves, right? We want to take a look at where we are and say, listen, because of all the time frames and all of the Stokes and the RSI and the moving averages, we can see that this is kind of forming a story here. So if we do pop up from here, I'm going to be looking at this level for a possible rollover. If we don't roll over on this level, we're going to take a look at what could happen here. And we could just continue to bull flag all the way up to that target at 119. Okay. So I'm going to be really, really watching this level right here. Again, we are overheated. 6 wants to push through the 12 and the 24. That's the 15. I'm going to go down to the 7. Let's take a look at what's happening there. 7's looking like it wants to make a pop up. And what did I just talk about, right? That bull flag could be forming on a higher time frame, like the 30, and could be touching the moving averages on another time frame and could pop up. This is what gives me a little bit of hope that that's happening. And if that does happen here, we will pop up to one of these levels. It's whether or not we can sustain it, right? We are now losing the 7 SMA and the smooth moving average with price action here. Once you open a candle decisively under the SMA or under the smooth moving average, this is going to tell you there is probably, if you lose it on multiple time frames, there's probably an more extended move to the downside. Okay. What I can see happening here is if the 7 is losing it, the 5, I'm guessing, already has. Right? And look at the 5 is still pointed down, which means we're losing this decisively on the 5-minute. We're losing it on the 7. The 1-minute, we can always take a look at. The 1-minute's popping up, but doesn't mean much if the 3, the 5, and the 7 are all looking like they want to keel over and point down, which is what's happening here. We've got a little bear flag forming on the 1-minute. This could take us down a little bit more. Once we start losing all of the moving averages, then you have to take a look and see, okay, do we have a move to the downside here? So I gave you the move to the upside. The move to the upside is we pop out of one of those bull flags. We pop to 116, 196. There, I will be looking for a double top just because I see this wick over here. And it just so happens that we're coming up to the same level. There's not a lot of coincidences in charting, guys. And when you see something go to the same level and it looks like it could be like cat ears or double top here, this is where I'm always going to be watching for a rollover. Okay. That doesn't mean we're necessarily rolling over. It just means I have to be cautious of it. I'm going to take a look at the 1 hour. And the reason why I'm doing that, actually, I'm going to take a look at the 30-minute just because it's going to be clear. YouTube and TikTok looks great. Hey, Ray Todd. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I can finally see the chat. It took a minute, I think, for the chat to be able to work. I'm only going to do this for a few minutes, guys, because I usually go live at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And there's a good buddy of mine that's live right now. And I don't want people to think that we're going live at different times or that I'm taking from him. What I will say is this. Look at what's forming here. Now we're getting exhausted on the 30-minute. 6 is trying to push through the 12 and the 24 on the 30-minute. And now this is what I see here. So I gave you the upside targets. Here's the downside targets. This, to me, looks very much like a Head and Shoulders pattern, right? Here we go. So actually it will be more cat ears if we get up here and we roll over. So here's the bearish scenario. Bearish scenario is this. We've got either, you can call it a Head and Shoulders, although the head is lower than the shoulders, which it usually isn't. However, if you guys watch me a lot, you will know that I see wonky patterns and I measure them and play them out just as if they were a perfect pattern. And so for me, here's a shoulder, a head, possible shoulder. We do this. We pop up here to this level right here. We double top. So this would be top one. This would be top two. We keel over here. Then we've got to move to the downside that we can actually measure, which is measure a head and shoulders from the top of the head to the bottom of the trend line. You move that to the supposed breakout. And here would be an estimate, right? We don't know where this is breaking down. However, this would be the start of the move down at 114.2. 114.2, as you know, if you've been on TikTok, that is my level that we need to stay above. So we drop that level. I'm glad to have been the first to be watching here. Shout out from Kenya. Hi, Kenya. Thank you so much for being in here. Guys, I'm Chelsea. I'm the Bullish Babe. I'm more prevalent on TikTok. I am moving to YouTube and Instagram. I have all three though. My TikTok up here on the top of my screen is actually wrong. It's the THE Bullish Babe Crypto. That is my handle on TikTok. If you don't follow me on those other platforms, please go and follow me with these handles up here. Those are the real ones, except for the TikTok. I don't know how it didn't get the Bullish Babe up there, but we're going to fix that ASAP. Go ahead and follow me on the other platforms. Hi to you. Nice to see you. I do charting every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I also have a show with Cosmic Crypto where we just do talk general crypto news, trends. We have a lot of laughs. That's at 3:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TikTok. We are eventually going to be doing Restream as well. But we have quite a crowd in there, and that we've been doing that for about almost 6 months, maybe now. And he's a super funny guy. So come and check that out if you guys are on TikTok, or follow us on TikTok and then come. So here's the move down to the downside if we are looking at this, right? So shoulder, head, shoulder, or it's cat ear. It's more likely cat ears, right? Here's one ear, the small head, another ear, and then we come down. And this would be around 114, 182. I need to be above that 114.2. It's okay if we drop below it for a short period of time, but I need us to hold that to think that we are going further without a move down right now. So we start moving down here. Let's see if there's a bigger move in here. I like to see the moves as they come and they bleed into one another. So if you've watched me in the past, you know that my favorite way or my favorite trade to take is a trade where I can see 3 moves in one. So I can see like an inverted head and shoulders moving into another inverted head and shoulders, moving into another inverted head and shoulders. And that's what brings us up. And so right here, I'm just going to check and see if we have another downside move, which obviously these are all anticipated moves, guys. These are not, number one, not a financial advisor. Number two, these can all change at the drop of a dime. And if you've watched me before I put a, yay, YouTube. Hey, Memphis Mike. Nice to see you. Guys, thank you so much for following me on YouTube. I appreciate it. If you're on my TikTok now and you've been supporting me from there, if you could go over and follow me on YouTube and TikTok, my links are actually in my bio, in the link in my bio. And you can follow me on all of these platforms, just in case one goes down. It's nice to have another platform to kind of re-up to. And so this is what I can see from here. This is another move that I can see, right? Again, oh, I don't know what just happened there. My charts just like readjusted themselves. There we go. Okay. So this is what I can see possibly happening here. Look at this. So now we see these cat ears, this cat ear pattern forming, right? We are starting to turn to the downside. Even on the 15, we may not get even up here, right? And so these cat ears would break us down to here, which would be 114, 179. Now, I did a video yesterday showing what could happen if we start to break down from here. And I am looking for a retest of those levels. Like I said, 113.3 and then possibly 112, which we have a CME gap at. So if we fall to 112, I wouldn't be super surprised. But here's a little pattern that we've got going on here after this cat ears pattern if we break down. Now, I like to see, again, multiple patterns in one. Here's a head and shoulders pattern, slanted head and shoulders, and this is on the 15-minute. Possible, right? So here's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. We break down from this level. Here's the target. And what's interesting is that we would already be breaking down from this level if this comes down. This could be a very shallow right shoulder and could break us down from here. What we do is we, even with a slanted on a head and shoulders, the way you measure it is you go from the top of the head to the bottom of the trend line. You drag that to the supposed breakout. Let's just say this does make a little shoulder right here. Instead of going all the way over here, we just make a little shoulder and we start breaking down from this crux right here. If that happens, this is actually the level that I will be looking at for this. It'll be 112,729, which is exactly in our levels to watch, right? This is the first level I was watching, the 113.3. This is the second level, which is the 112,369. We break this level, this could go down and eventually fill that CME gap. And that would be the fire starter to actually get us to come up and continue on if that's what we're going to do. It's always an if-then statement with me. You guys will never see me say, this is exactly what we're going to do, ever. There's no trader that can ever tell you that. And if they can, or they are telling you that, they're lying. This is always if-then. If we break this resistance, we go to here. If we break this support, we go to here. If we do this, this, and this, then we do this. And that's how I talk in my streams. You guys will notice that as we go along. Look at how aggressively we're turning over on the 15 now. Let's take a look at what the 30-minute and the hourly are doing at this point. And then I'm going to jump off for now. I am going to do a stream, I think, from here at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you to all who are joining me from YouTube and TikTok. I really appreciate you. I don't know if you can even, on TikTok, they send gifts on the stream. I don't know if you guys can do that. And if you can do that, I can't see them. I do donate all of my gifts, not all of them, about 90% of them go to someone in need. And so if you are giving those, I appreciate that. And I appreciate you. So here we go, guys. If we break down from this head and shoulders, this is where it will bring us. It will actually bring us a little bit higher, 112,990. And we are starting to curve around on the 30-minute as well, which is what we just talked about. Okay. 1 hour, same thing. We aren't curving over on the Stokes yet. However, this is looking like, let me just see. We are money flipping here. Okay. So on the Stokes, there's a thing called a magic. I'm going to take teaching moments as I can in here. On the Stokes, there is a thing called the magic bow tie. And what it looks like is right here. See this? Here would be a bow tie. And this is actually a money flip. Means that the money is trying to go the opposite way. We have one that's a diagonal right here. I don't know if you can see it as much, but right here, it's trying to money flip. And so if that happens, this will start moving over to the downside. We haven't yet. However, the RSI is looking like it's no longer pointed up, which it was when we started the stream. And it's looking like it wants to slump to the downside. Okay. And so here, if we do come here, this would be one of my levels to watch. Now we would have broken through the 113.3. We're obviously will have broken through the 114.2, which is something that I want to hold. But we are holding right now 115,491. We're going to go up to the 4 hour and see what the 4 hour is doing now to see if we're going to hold this. Obviously, the 4 hour is where I'm looking at the bull flag, right? So this is the 4 hour. Here's the pull. Here's the flag right here. I can draw this out a little bit clearer, right? So here's the flag. And here's the pull that we talked about. And this is what I'm looking at to break out. We don't break out of this. Look at the SMAs coming up to price action. So is the smooth moving. Also, the 50 is coming up to price action as well. And if these bundle, there could be a chance that we push out of this, even though everything else is slumping. And so that's just the name of the game, guys. We push out of here. Obviously, this is the target right here, 119.6, and that's just of this bull flag that gets you over another resistance level, okay? So I'm going to just show you this. Obviously, here's the inverted head and shoulders we broke out of. The target there is 122, and if we break out of this, this is where we head to, right? And this breaking out of this bull flag on the 4-hour would get us somewhere. We are still at the bottom of the Stokes. RSI is turning up. We very well just need to wait through some of those smaller time frames to actually get to the 4-hour and to have the 4-hour breakout. What I'm going to be looking for is I'm going to be looking for the RSI and the Stokes to reset on the lower time frames and not bring price action with it, right? Because right now we're coming up. It looks like we want to roll over on the 30-minute and the 15. I'm going to be looking for these to roll over and to not drag price action with it and let us kind of hang in this area until that 4-hour comes and pushes us out. And so that's what I'm looking for today. So guys, downside targets 113, actually 112,992. We break that level. There's a very good chance if we're under all of the moving averages that we're actually going to get magneted to this level right here at 112,362. And then we've got the 50 right under us. Again, you're always building a story when you're looking at charts. And to me, this would be the story that we broke under here to go fill that CME gap. And if we continue coming down here, we could very well fake out below the 50, fill that CME gap, and then get right back above this level and start our journey back up. That's one of the stories, right? The other story is that YouTube stream awesome in landscape mode. Yay! I'm so glad. I'm so glad you guys can see it. I can't see if you like any of the gifts, any of the heart me's, any of the taps. I can't see any of that on here unless I'm not looking in the right place. And so I can see that story playing out. If we're going to come down and fill that CME gap at 112, there's a very good chance we're going to fake out below the 50, come hop this level again, turn this into support again, hop this level, turn it into support, and then go. However, we hang up here and the RSI and the Stokes don't pull us down with price action. Very good chance that we could actually pop out of this 4-hour bull flag and up to the upside without having to do this. But I need to see those reset without dragging price down like a ton, right? And it can even drag price down a little bit on the 4-hour, and we can wick down like through the SMA and then come back up. But I need it to stay above there to actually break up and out. Okay. And so again, guys, here's the 4-hour flag. Like this is what we're waiting on, right? We are making our way up here. So could we stay here and could that 4-hour break out? It could. Let me take a look at the 2-hour. Take a look at the 2-hour and see what the 2-hour is doing. Yeah, look at the 2 hours turning, right? You guys will notice I jump back and forth between the time frames. The reason is I don't trade on one time frame. To be honest, I'm not sure that it's very possible to trade on one time frame unless it's a very low time frame, like the 1 minute, the 3, the 5, possibly the 7. And the reason why is if you're not watching the other time frames, things can be breaking out on a different time frame. Like look at what we just did, right? 15, the 7, 15, 30, they're all looking to keel over, but the 4 hours in a flag. And as long as we remain in that flag and the Stokes and the RSI turns over and the 6 pushes through the 12 and the 24, very good chance this 4-hour flag pops out without having to come down. And so that's what I'm looking at right now, guys. So target to the upside, 119,620. Second target to the upside, you guys know, if you've been on TikTok, 122 is my target. That's the target of the inverse head and shoulders on the breakout. So that's what I'm looking for today. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you're coming to us from TikTok, I cannot see any of the chat. I think I either have to turn that on or there's no ability to do it on Restream, which may be an issue. I may have to change to OBX to be able to see the chat. And if you're joining from YouTube, thank you so much for being here. I'm Chelsea. I'm the Bullish Babe. If this is your first time joining me, please give me a follow. TikTok is wrong at the top of my design up there. It's the Bullish Babe Crypto, and it's not Babes. Actually, I see a lot of typos in this. TikTok is the Bullish Babe Crypto without an S. So please do follow me on that. I will blank that out and get that out of my screen so that people don't follow me. I have a lot of copycats on YouTube, on TikTok. And so if you don't follow me directly from the stream, you'll probably get a copycat. But I just wanted to thank you guys all for being here. I'll be back at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. And hopefully this will be working a little bit better. I hope you enjoyed the stream and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much.